Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of the FPL Cougars show. This is our first midweek show of the season, and tonight we're going to be dissecting the Gameweek 1 games, talking about the players who under and overperformed and the ones that just got some great returns for us. We're going to review our teams and then look ahead to Gameweek 2 and the captaincy options there. So, hi Kieran.
Hello, alright.
Yeah, I'm good. Now then, how are you doing today and what did you make of that opening weekend?
It was a good weekend, wasn't it? It was a good opening weekend. Some good games, some exciting games, more so than others. But the kind of majority of points seem to be quite high this weekend, so everyone's spirits are going good into the next weekend, which is nice. Yeah, it was good fun.
It was good fun. There was lots of good games, and like you said, the average points total was super high, so everyone's probably going to have a really good feeling about fantasy moving forward. If you had a bad game week, don't worry. It's a long season. And there's transfers to be made. So I think we'll start off by looking at your team and how we're going to structure the shows, and we're going to have a look back over all the fixtures from the weekend and talk about how they affected our teams. So I think that the best place to start is obviously the start of the season, the first game, Manchester United-Leicester. So Kieran, De Gea, what happened?
Yep, had De Gea. A bit annoying getting that clean sheet wiped out in the 92nd or 3rd minute with a minute to go. That's really frustrating. I didn't expect to actually have De Gea in my team after last video and stuff. I think I was going to take him out, but I just thought United clean sheets, they get 18 or 19 a season. They're so consistent with that. I just felt like I needed to just put him in and just forget about him. But yeah, that was just annoying. That was just so close to that clean sheet. I would have hit 100, I think, the 100 club if he'd got that clean sheet. So, but other than that, De Gea, 3 points, it's all right, I'll take it. Move on to next week, hopefully get a clean sheet against Brighton. So that'll be good.
You and quite a lot of people were excited on Friday afternoon and getting the team news sort of coming in, and people were saying, Pogba's going to start, and Pogba nearly swayed you, didn't he?
Oh yes, he did. I literally actually pressed the button make transfers, but the site was going so slowly that I panicked and just pressed the back button on the browser just so many times. I was like, nah, this is just isn't going to go through. It just doesn't feel right. But yeah, I was going to get rid of Davies and Richarlison and Fraser for Pogba, Jorginho and Duffy. Overall, I would have still done okay, but I have done better by not doing it. So Pogba with 10 points. I think Jorginho got about 10 as well, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. Duffy on 1, I think. So yeah, I'm glad I smashed that back button. The site was going really slowly, so I just couldn't deal with it. I panicked.
I think you're right about the panic. A lot of people got towards Pogba, but it was Sanchez that started the game really well, and he caused the trouble, let's say, for the penalty. What do you think of his? He's been quite heavily picked, and I know you had him in a couple of drafts, and you were talking about him. What do you think of his performance the other night?
Bit disappointing, to be honest. He's not, doesn't seem like he's worth 10.5 at the moment.
No way.
Pretty poor. He was just giving ball away so much, just simple balls that could have been easy assists possibly. Just really bad on that front. And then the assist was never assist. I don't know what FPL's doing there, giving that to him. It's off 2 players, and in their rules it says it can only go off one person for it to be assist or something. So I don't know how that's stuck with him. So anyone that captained Sanchez has been very fortunate this week.
I think it was in the Opta rules, because they provide all the statistics and data. I read somewhere that it was them that accredited him the assist, and because of that, Fantasy just didn't change it. But I don't know, it did look jammy, didn't it? I mean, if you're an owner, you're not going to say anything, but it'll be interesting to see how when the season progresses, if there's a similar incident for, let's say, a lesser owned player, how it's affected. But it was funny.
I think there would have been more stink if it was a goal. I think if he scored from it, then I think FPL managers would be way more up in ours. But just an assist, I think he got 5 points altogether. Just not, whatever. Just let it go, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, I was quite impressed with Luke Shaw. I talked last week on the show about how Shaw was a good option, but with Young coming back, there was potential that he was going to get rotated. But after Friday night's performance, I thought he was one of United's best players. He's 5 mil, obviously got a goal. It's his first of his United career.
Yep.
So it's not like he's prolific, but he was getting into some dangerous positions. If he can make himself part of a stable defence there, I think he's a good option.
Yeah, congrats to anyone that actually picked him. You know, I went with De Gea just because I thought, you know, Luke Shaw's not going to be safe. You know, I wanted to just pick someone that's just going to be there and I could forget about him. But yeah, you know, goal from Luke Shaw is nice. I think a 3 bonus as well.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong, really. Well done.
I think he missed a trick afterwards. They were interviewing him about how his touch, he was meant to touch it inside, but it's a bit like the Dennis Bergkamp finish against Newcastle a couple of years ago. Like
he was a bit lucky, wasn't he?
Touched it round the defender.
Yeah,
it's kind of cute finish. So there wasn't, from the Leicester point of view, I wanted to pick up on how well James Maddison looked in the first half. He just did it for me. I thought he was getting into some really nice positions, getting some great shots in the box. I mean, to go away to Old Trafford, Premier League debut, he's come from Norwich. It looks like he's going to be playing that number 10 position from Leicester. He really impressed me, and obviously without Vardy on the pitch, Iheanacho got into some good positions. He had some good chances. Damari Gray was played well as well mainly on the left for Leicester. He had quite a few shots in the box, but yeah, Maddison, he looks like he could be the main number 10 or the main provider of assist to Vardy and getting in the box to have some shots. I think it bodes quite well. I think he's gone under the radar a little bit, the fact that he didn't get any returns. No one's really talking about it. Everyone's still on Richarlison, but yeah, give it, if he scores or assists or any sort of returns over the next couple of game weeks, I think people are going to say he's a good option, that 6.5 bracket.
Their fixtures, I think, were maybe the second best out of all fixtures for the starting 6 weeks or something. So yeah, I think he's on 1% as well owned. So massive differential if he does anything.
Definitely.
Yeah, he looked exciting, to be honest. Every single set piece he was taking, free kicks, corners. Well, yeah, that's about it. I suppose Vardy will be on penalties, but yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, he does. I read, or there was some talk in some of the Sunday papers that Claude Puel had like 3 games into the season to save his job, was the big news story over the weekend. Which seems mad, doesn't it? But apparently there was a lot of unrest on, just worry, which you'd question why Leicester wouldn't do anything over the summer and back him with some transfers, but it remains to be seen if he'll part ways.
Really strange because they looked really good. I don't know where that's coming from personally. They look better than United, honestly.
Yeah, they did have some good spells.
They were lucky to win that game. So they dominated possession at Trafford. So yeah, they'll probably win the next few games. No reason to be worried about Leicester, I don't think.
No, I think it was good. So moving on to Saturday, and your main man Ben Davies.
Yeah, the only one out of the Spurs defenders back 4 to not get a return, which is,
That's so disappointing.
Hilarious. Yeah, sitting on 2 points is really frustrating, but he was in there not really to get massive returns. I don't think. I just wanted clean sheets from him, really. Obviously I would like some assists and stuff, but that can still come. He did look attacking. He was very close to an assist as well. So yeah, next week he'll probably get it, hopefully. Yeah, just a bit of a troll. 2 points there, a bit annoying. Yeah, with those double figures in that back line.
Yeah,
he had to go ruin it, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a bit of a shame. Like you say, I thought he was the one that headed in instead of Vertonghen. So I was like, oh, Kieran's got some points here. And then obviously the camera zoomed in and it was, Vertonghen wheeling away.
I thought the same thing. I was just like, oh, that's Ben Davies back face. That's where he should be.
Yeah.
But no.
I think it makes sense to keep faith. You saw how well he did at the start of last season. I made a criminal error of having Ben Davies for Newcastle at the start of the season. I think they went to, maybe the 3rd game of the season they went to Everton, or maybe the 2nd game because they were still playing away from home, being at Wembley. I can't quite recall, but I benched him away at Everton, which was ridiculous, and I think he got 2 assists in one game. So he has got the attacking potential. So I think, like Mendy and Robertson and Van Aanholt in your team, he will get returns. So I think,
Yeah, it's like people who benched Mendy this week. Like, I don't know why you would ever do that. You're spending 6 million. It's a big amount for a defender.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing Arsenal, but he's a attacking fullback. He's going to hopefully get assists, which he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you think about Kane and attacking force from Spurs this week?
A lot of people saying he looks tired, but I don't know. He looks more just out of form. Like he just can't. I don't know. He's not in control of his body, or I don't know. Something. It's just that his touch is really off, and I don't think that's. I don't know if that's unfit or tired. I think he came back from injury too quick at the start of last season. At the end of last season. And, I mean, fair enough. He scored quite a lot of goals in the World Cup. He won the Golden Boot, but he didn't really look like the Kane we've come to expect and know over the last 2-3 seasons. So to see him sort of floundering around against Newcastle was a bit of a worry, really.
Yeah, August cursed, isn't it?
It'll be they've got Fulham at home, haven't they, this weekend? So I think Tottenham, if you've got Tottenham players, I mean, you'd obviously hold them because it's game week 2, but I think Kane would have to do a lot to make me worried to get him, or make me worry and think I need him in my team.
Yeah. He's going to want to be scoring in that game, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's going to want to get in that score sheet and just bang some points in, I think. Ericsson as well looked really good, didn't he? 5 chances created, I think, which, very close to assists. So looks like he could be good. And then Sanchez, the defender as well, had the most goal attempts out of all of them. 3 attempts, which is nice.
That is good.
So if he's going to continue doing that at 6 million as well, might be a decent swerve, possibly.
Yeah.
Or for anyone that's looking to get into the Spurs defence and other fixtures coming up, Sanchez might be worth it.
Be interesting to see if Poch changes their team formation when Alvaro comes back in. Like, is he going to be benched for foreseeable, or is he going to come straight back in the team? And if he does, are they going to play a 3 at the back with him and Sanchez and Vertonghen? Is Ben Davies and Trippier going to play wing back? So I think there's options there, and I think all of the above, definitely the wing back option would suit Ben Davies as an attacking threat. So keep.
Yep.
Keep.
What about Newcastle? I think they looked a bit crappy. Didn't look great.
No, they didn't.
Bit disappointing.
Yeah, I think they've got eight of their players that started on Saturday were part of their championship team 2 seasons ago. So the fact that they managed to stay up last season with such like a championship heavy team, and they're going into this season again, either it's going to catch up with them, or Rafa's just going to continue to prove himself to be a quality manager. But
I think Richie looks fairly good. Once their fixtures get a bit better, Richie could be someone to look at for sure. The defence didn't look too bad, but you always had the feeling that Spurs were just going to win that game fairly comfortably. Just wants to keep an eye on, I think, once the fixtures are better.
I think their fixtures turned out about game week 8 or 9, so maybe we'll have another review then, but I could see a 4.5 defender being used in a rotation, or maybe a punt on Kennedy if I need to lower some funds. But
Dummett as well. He was good at the end of last season, getting some clean sheets. 4.5.
Do you want to talk about Bournemouth and your main man, Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan Fraser kicking it with a goal there. Yeah, he was man of the match as well. All the bonus. Yeah, just took a little punt on him. I wanted some sort of like Bournemouth coverage, and I kind of didn't want the 3-4-3. I didn't want King. And then that proved to be a good decision because King was off penalties anyway, it seems like. I don't know if he is full-time now, who knows, because Wilson's missed, but he may be put back on it. But Fraser, man of the match performance, he should be nailed on in that team for a while to come. Shouldn't be any reason to drop him. And he's got good fishers, so I'm hoping for another return next week.
Yeah, I think he's one of those ones. He's not too expensive, and he played well. King, like you say, King was very popular before the start of the game week, and I looked at the stats, and I think Callum Wilson had 6 shots against Cardiff, which is the second most of any player game week 1.
Yep.
And we'll talk about the top shot taker in the next fixture, but I was quite surprised at that after King had such a heavy backing. I think it was just based on the fact he get a brace in the last pre-season game.
Yep.
And people were just all over him. So
I think King only had 1 shot as well.
Oh, really?
So Yeah, maybe we're all just a little bit taking pre-season on too much there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to mention about Cardiff? Because, I mean, I've not got a lot to say apart from really happy with Lee Peltier's yellow card.
Yeah, Peltier playing is good, 4.0.
Yeah, that is good.
That's good to know. But yeah, the Cardiff team look like they're going to struggle. They're lackluster going forward. Bournemouth aren't really great at keeping clean sheets. So,
No.
when they do, that's the other team's got to be pretty poor. So yeah, probably stay away from Cardiff.
I think it's a real 6-pointer this weekend. I think it's Newcastle against Cardiff. So already the team's going to be scrapping. But, no.
Tough to call a winner on that one, really. That's all.
It'd be like a championship game.
Yeah.
No, I'm being too cruel, but it'll be a surprise. I think if Cardiff stay up. I mean, they've barely invested compared to what Fulham and Wolves have done. So to think they can come up and not invest, I'd be surprised if they stay up.
You ask anyone you think might be in the bottom 3 this year, most people are going to say Cardiff.
Yeah. Should we talk about Fulham and Palace?
Yeah,
absolutely. Sexy London clubs there.
Van Arnold in my team with a decent 11 points.
Doing bits.
Doing bits. I just wanted to get him in. I just had to have him, just because he's so attacking and he just promises to get so many assists and goals. And he had a great finish for an offside goal.
Yeah,
which I was really disappointed about how they didn't manage to get that goal. But yeah, 11 points start of the season. That's great. Next fixture's not so good for him. Liverpool at home. I'll be worried that, but I'm gonna play him anyway.
I think you should, yeah.
And then obviously the 4.0 hero for a lot of people who came off their bench, luckily, Obi-Wan Bissaka. With 12 points, man of the match, full bonus. Yeah, he looks good. So anyone wants to save some money, just stick him on your starting lineup. I think if you don't want Van Arnold or anything like that, get him in there.
Well, I think we were saying before last week, weren't we, that there could be a case for every Palace defender.
Yeah.
You had Saka with the bonus, Tompkins with the clean sheets, Van Aanholt with the potential goal threat, which delivered, Obi-Wan with the 4.0, and then Jeff Schlott playing out of position left midfield.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they were all playing for different teams, you'd probably have all 5 Palace players in your squad, but yeah, it was a good performance from there, and I think they got battered in terms of possession and facing shots, but they just pulled out a win, so...
Yeah, I mean, they were lucky to keep a clean sheet. They did look quite frail at the back, actually. Hennessy made like 5 or 6 good saves. So, me playing him next week is not expecting a clean sheet against Liverpool. Like, I think Liverpool are probably 3-0, something like that. But yeah, I just want to kind of hope for an assist maybe. But then I need Robertson to get an assist as well for him to get any points. So, yeah, tough week, but... After they don't play each other, both teams have good fixtures. So yeah.
Well, I was pleased with the Zaha goal because Zaha was in my team. So and we'll get onto my team in a minute. But pleased with that. But I think the Palace Liverpool game will be really good next Monday. It's a Monday night game. Palace's fans are always super up for it. Liverpool don't have a great record against them. So although Liverpool have been playing really good, I could see maybe Palace causing a bit of an upset there. Maybe a draw. I wouldn't predict a win, but maybe a PVA last-minute winner.
Yeah, well, not sure about that, but I think it could be tight. But I think Liverpool would probably just run away with it in the dying stages. I think it might be like a 1-0, like 0-0 at half-time, and I think they'll kind of just push through at the end.
No, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, Fulham as well. Mitrovic looked good. He had 7 goal attempts, the most out of any striker or anyone across the whole of the first game week. He looks decent. I think he could get some goals this season. Could be a good third striker or second striker if you want to go that way.
Yeah.
Fulham looked okay attacking wise. Hennessy did make saves. So yeah, just if you've got him, keep him. No reason to get rid. Think about getting him in because their fixtures are alright, to be honest. If you want to knee jerk away from King or something, Mitrovic might be decent.
So the only person I didn't get, or a lot of people were talking about before the season, obviously, because he's young, is Ryan Sessegnon. I think he's just a bit overpriced, isn't he, to warrant getting at the moment. but I
He
think
did. He looked okay. He didn't show too much for the 6.5, compared to what Maddison did against United. Like Richarlison as well, obviously at 6.5. Yeah, he's looking the less likely to be picked.
Yeah. Cool. What about Huddersfield and Chelsea then? 3-0 Chelsea. Comfortable win.
Yep. They look good at the back. Solid. I was very close to having Kepa instead of De Gea. I had him in a few of my sort of drafts last minute, but I just was not sure he'd start. I didn't want to risk it. But yeah, Alonso looking attacking still. Getting assists. Like everyone probably was not going to get him because he looked like he wasn't going to get us forward as much. But yeah, he looks like a good 6.5 again. Nice. Kante with a goal looks a bit more attacking, which is nice. But I wouldn't rush to get him in because that's probably going to happen, once a season. Jorginho on pens, maybe. Who knows? Obviously, wait to see what Hazard does when Hazard's on the pitch as well. But yeah, he could rustle them off him. Who knows?
I think thoughts to pick up from me on the Chelsea side while you're talking about Kante there. I think I read that Kante had actually come out and said that he's been given a new role to pick up this season, so he's been positioned further forward, and it was new for him, and he was getting into it. But I think under the Sarri lineup, he sees Kante's energy as a huge plus to get them into that, maybe like a number 8 role, maybe a little bit of a number 10 role. So Kante, people have selected Kante just because he's a 5 million starter and he usually plays, so his ownership is fairly high for a player in that bracket. But I think he's going to get some returns this season. Wouldn't be surprised if he hit five goals, maybe 5 assists, something around there.
Sure. I can see that.
And also worth picking up, I thought Morata was, from what I saw again, was really poor.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long Sarri's going to go on playing him for, because from what I know roughly of Sarri playing at Napoli, he likes a central striker to be more mobile, getting involved with play. That's why Dries Mertens played there. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if after a couple game weeks Morata's still not doing it, that Hazard could play in that false 9 or just a number 9 role, which would make him a real, more enticing option for Chelsea.
I mean, yes, but like last season when Conte put him in false 9, he did nothing. All his points dried up. But Sarri is kind of more used to that system, and he could get his players doing it a bit better. Do you not think Giroud will come in at all? Not really his sort of player, is he? No.
I think maybe an impact sub.
Yeah, he's possibly. Let's talk about him still going somewhere in Europe. So, yeah, not sure. Huddersfield-wise, Billing, the guy I've got on my first sub, he looked good. Honestly, he was the best Huddersfield player on the day. Best stats, best attacking wise. Played the 90 minutes, so yeah, decent 4.5 mid pick for me there. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Shame I had him first on the bench, but not that any of my players didn't play, but would have had something more to complain about with Bissaka being so close.
Yeah, Billing coming on instead of Obi-Wan would have been a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
What about Watford Brighton? Pereira show, or is it? I think it's Pereira, isn't it?
Pereira, I guess. I think.
The P-Man.
He looked good. He did look very good. I think it's just Brighton just looked poor in general. I think that's possibly why. Holebas looked good as well, 2 assists.
Yep.
But he loves a card, so anyone that did have Holebas in, well played, because they had something like 15 defenders to choose from.
Yeah.
But yeah, Holebas could be good. Their fixtures are decent. Yeah, if you want to get him in, go for it. Foster looked decent as well, but Brighton didn't have a single shot on target the whole game, so Foster can look this decent because he'd had nothing to do. But yeah, safest 6-point clean sheet that you'll ever have. I wouldn't expect that to happen very often.
No.
But what do you think?
Well, it's an unusual one because Watford have a lot of good fixtures on paper.
Yeah.
They don't play many of the big teams early season. And when I was putting together my first couple of drafts, I was thinking I've got to get a Watford player in here somewhere. But I think just the appeal of other players over Watford players, and not not really knowing how they were going to perform, because they had a bit of a slump towards the end of last season. I thought, okay, they might not be. They had a really bad away form, like I posted it on our Twitter account today. But Watford haven't scored an away goal in their last 8 Premier League games.
Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit of a worry. I know it's a new season; they've got stuff to play for now. It's at the beginning, so that might change. But he looked good, and like I say, I wasn't sure who to get, so I just stayed away from them. But I think they've got fairly low ownership across the board, so it's not like it's going to affect the overall rankings too much.
Yeah, Pereira's, probably pretty low owned. I haven't actually checked, but yeah, if you've got him at the start, then really well done. But I probably wouldn't go for him if you're thinking about a transfer. I probably would stay away for the time being and just see how he does in the next game to see if he's actually on form or it wasn't just a fluke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it makes sense. And Brighton, I think it's just wait and see what they do. We haven't got enough information to say whether it's a one-off or they have just had a bad start to the season, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yep.
So the final game on Saturday night, the big one, Wolves, Everton, 2-2.
Yeah, exciting game, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It was good. It was really good.
Yeah. Jimenez looked really lively. 5.5 up the top.
Yeah.
Could be a very decent third striker option. Had one other chance other than his goal to really get another goal. Would have been nice for his owners. But Jota, who I have, got an assist for the penalty, which Neves went and missed. Saved. But yeah, Jota didn't look that involved, to be honest.
No,
which is a bit of a shame. For his 6.5 when Madison's looking so good, yeah, he actually got a return, but I'm probably not going to knee-jerk any transfer on him at all. He could easily just get the other way round on points that Neves did last week, so he could get the goal, he could get an assist, whereas Neves could do nothing. I think he's going to just grow into the Premier League, to be honest. He looked a bit anxious, wary, but he looks like a quality player, so I think he'll start getting returns. Looking forward to a return this week, hopefully.
I just had a quick look at Jota's goal attempt because I wasn't sure before. He had won that game, and I think that's quite a little. I mean, I know they were playing against 10 men, so it's a little bit disappointing he didn't have more. From what I saw, he looked like a little bit further down in the pecking order. Like, I'd say Neves looked like their main source of points. Beyond that, Jimenez had quite a few good chances, and you'd expect when you're chasing the game, you'd have your main person really step up, and he had a few nice crosses, made a few dribbles. Obviously, his assist wasn't like a football assist, in the fact he just got fouled.
Yeah.
So I think the jury remains out on him because he's 6'5". We'll see. When I was so excited by Madison and obviously Richarlison at that price. Yes.
I mean, when he was fouled for that penalty, he was through on goal, so he could easily have scored that, and we would be singing his praises a bit more. So who knows? I think I'm going to keep him for a while, see how he does.
Yeah.
There's easy transfers sideways or down to Neves, if that's the case. But I feel like if I'm going down to Neves, that just seems odd to me. I don't know why. But if I need to, maybe get Mane in somehow, then Jota to Neves might be good. Yeah.
Well, they've all had price rises, haven't they?
Yeah,
Mane's
Richarlison has. Yeah. Mane, yep. Mendy as well.
What did you think of Richarlison's all-round game? Because he had 2 shots on goal, scored 2. You pretty pleased with him?
Involved, so yeah, happy with that. I feel like he's just going to push on with his. He's back with Silva. He's got the taste for goals with Everton now. I think he's probably going to return again next week. That's my feeling at the moment. His injury seemed to be a cramp, and he's been pictured training today, so he should be absolutely fine. Hopefully some points next week.
We will see. So I think before we move on to Sunday's games, we'll just talk about your team briefly, because obviously we sat here and you've got your 92 points.
Yeah.
So do you want to say where roughly your overall rank is right now?
I think it was about 50,000, just over.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's probably my best Gameweek 1 ever. So yeah, happy with that. Really happy. 92 in any normal week would be massive. But yeah, just the kind of culprits that we expected to do well did well this week. Like all the teams that you would expect to win won this week. There was no upset. So all the people that you would just get into your team pretty much returned. Right. So yeah, that definitely won't carry on. But yeah, my top heavy Aubameyang and Aguero not performing is annoying. That's like 22 million there, but and the lesser players like Fraser and Jota and Richarlison and stuff, giving me points, which is great.
It's typical, isn't it? Really, like all that money, like you say, invested up front for them not to return, and then you're relying on your mid-range boys have brought home some good points for you.
Yeah.
No, I think it was a really good week, and it's just like you say, it's a really good start. But I think when you see the range of points, like if you see the average is down at 53, the highest 137, and to end up 92, it's a fantastic score. Great start to the week.
Very happy.
Yeah, really well done. Right, so let's move on to Sunday, and I'll bring up my team, which is considerably less points, and I'll talk about that at the end. But the first game on Sunday was the Liverpool thrashing of West Ham. What did you think there?
Yeah, they look dominant, don't they? I did say in the last video three Liverpool players and possibly 3 attack. Could be the way to go. I didn't end up doing that myself. Mane, I had in quite a few drafts, punished a lot of people that didn't have him. But yeah, Mane looked good. If you captain him, you're getting big points. But yeah, Salah looks like he's a bit more of a poacher this season. Like just from that game, he looked like a bit of a poacher. He was in the place where like I would expect Firmino to be, sort of just on the 6-yard box and just ready for that little tap in. He looked good. I can't see why he wouldn't get any points next week as well. He seems like a good captain option still. The whole attack looks great. They're just starting where they left off last year, just dominating teams. Robertson with the cheeky assist, which is good.
That was a nice assist.
Yeah.
I think you'd be disappointed as a Van Dijk owner watching that, because there was such a big debate, wasn't there, before the season? Do you play it safe with Van Dijk, who's probably going to play all the games in the Premier League, or do you take a little bit of a risk on Robertson, who's probably going to get rotated a little bit around Champions League? And it was just typical of their first game of the season, the first goal of the season, Robertson gets the assist. Yeah,
just the assist to Salah. Everyone was very happy that had Robertson and Salah at that point.
No, in general, I was really impressed with Liverpool. I think Kate has made such a difference in that number 8 role. He's added more dynamism to their sort of central attacking areas. Mane, which meant in turn Mane was more involved. I think the Liverpool wide players in Mane and Salah were getting so deep to pick up the ball. There was more of a connection there. I think it impacted on Firmino a little bit, because I think he had one shot on goal, and in a game where Liverpool win, I know everyone says he works hard, and he does work really hard, but in fantasy terms you don't get points for working hard, sadly. You get points for goals. I mean, you get bonus points for working hard, but you've still got to get goals. But to have one shot on goal in a game where they win 4-0 is a little bit disappointing at home, I guess, for him and any potential owners. What do you think about... Oh, sorry. Go.
This just feels slightly disappointing to me, because that's like... I think he will come good, obviously, Firmino. But like the way to get a third Liverpool player in for me would be possibly downgrading one of my strikers to get Firmino. There doesn't seem to be much of an easy way to get in Mane for me. But Mane looks better, so that's annoying. So, but I think Firmino will come good, but maybe need to wait and see what happens. A lot of people kind of doubled up on their defence, which is a good call as well. Robertson and Van Dijk, or Alisson, or Trent, who's 5 million, which is really good value for Trent. People weren't sure if he was going to start. I wasn't sure if he was going to start, because I did have him and Robertson for a while. But Trent, some of his crossing was shocking. But he was just maybe like the worst player in that team that day, but there's still a great performance.
Do you think he'll get rotated more than Robertson will?
You'd probably say yes, because Klein is a good player, but Klopp likes him. Maybe. I'd probably say Klein's going to be like their cup left back or right back, sorry. And Robertson and Trent are probably going to play all the games in the Premier League, I'd say. Unless they're around Champions League and they get far.
I think one thing for me personally to pick up on was the Eriksen and Mane thing, because when we talked about it on the show last week, I said that I didn't want to invest 22 million on both Salah and Mane, and I wanted to go Eriksen instead. And obviously watching Mane score those 2 goals was a little bit disappointing. Second one's offside, let's just be clear on that. A long way offside. But he had 2 shots on goal, scored them both, and I think Eriksen had 2 shots on goal as well. So I'm sure, like me, there's a lot of people who went Eriksen over Mane, and I think, hold on, is the message. Hold on, and just see what happens this weekend. Spurs have got Fulham at home, and like I say, Liverpool have got to go to Palace, so I think it'll be a tricky game, and I think it's
could easily be the other way round, the reverse points this week.
Yeah.
So, Eriksen looked good, so I wouldn't be worried about keeping him in over Mane. Just disappointing the first week. It's going to happen.
Yeah. What did you make of West Ham?
Disappointing. I had high hopes for them, honestly. They just didn't really challenge at all.
No.
Maybe that's because VVD was just marshalling that defence so well. But Arnautovic didn't look like he was going to do anything. Taken off about 70 minutes. Bit of a shame for his owners, I think, and for you.
He had a couple of half chances, but...
Yeah. But disappointing.
It was, yeah. Well, I think they've spent a lot of money, and I think nearly 100 million.
Yeah.
They bought some exciting looking players. Felipe Anderson, I thought, looked quite good.
He did look good, yeah.
But it's just a question now of, can they gel quickly, and can they make a bit of go of it and start to show some form? They've got a home match coming up this weekend, and then I think I might have to review Arnautovic, because if they look as like like you say, they didn't really look like a threat. They didn't have any periods of a hold the ball. The formation was a little bit all over the place. I wasn't sure about Mark Noble still playing defensive midfield with, I think it was Declan Rice in there. They didn't seem to be those two, and Jack Wilshere playing number 10. It didn't seem like Arnautovic had any, I mean, I know they're playing Liverpool and it's going to be difficult, but the passing combinations and getting in Anderson, it just, I don't know, it didn't seem to be clicking. So I'll watch the next West Ham game in detail and see what I think of Arnautovic, because we'll talk about our transfer plans in a minute, but he could be one to go.
Yeah, they could easily beat Bournemouth 2 or 3-0. Who knows? So, I'd wait and see. Like you said, watch that game with keen interest. To be honest, see how Arnie does.
So before we move on to the bigger game of the weekend, Arsenal Man City, we should probably mention the 0-0 scoreboard draw.
Yep.
Between Southampton and Burnley. Is there anything you want to touch on from this game?
Just an expected result, isn't it? 0-0, boring. Burnley solid at defence like they always are. Southampton, look fairly solid as well, I suppose. But Burnley aren't that great attacking wise, so fairly just boring 0-0. Cedric taken off for anyone that had him at 58 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty gutting. So no clean sheet for him. But to be honest, I didn't really see much of it. I only saw it on Match of the Day. It was just boring.
I can't say I watched Match of the Day highlights of it, but I'd had a look at the stats, and I was surprised to see that Ings started on the bench. Well, I wasn't surprised to see that because he's a new signing, but I was surprised to see that he came on and in half an hour he had 3 shots. I know they're playing Burnley, but that's still quite positive. I think is he 5'5"? I'm feeling he's 5'5". Yes. I think for a 5'5", if I was going to switch and play 3-5-2 and swap Arnautovic to someone, he would be a definite, because I think if Southampton made chances, they had quite a lot of shots against Burnley, so it wasn't like they were playing badly. They just didn't put any away. So I think more chances for Ings. I think he could make a real impact there.
Yep.
So that he's definitely one to monitor for me. For sure.
I think he had something like 5 attempted assists as well in about half an hour or something.
Okay.
No,
he's always been. I think he had a good season at Burnley, didn't he? Just really unlucky with injuries at Liverpool. So I think he's got a season now where he can sort of remind people, look, I'm still here, and this is what I can do. So yeah, let's see. I'm going to give it a few more, maybe 1 or 2 game weeks, but I've already started thinking about how I could, well, what I could do with Arnautovic would potentially be Danny Ings. So the final game of the weekend, Arsenal, Man City, new Arsenal. It was a new dawn, wasn't it, on Sunday? Isn't it
Yes,
exciting?
the Emery revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not quite faltering revolution.
No.
Yeah, just City looking like they're just as good as last season. Picking up where they left off, dominant. Away at Emirates, you'd think Arsenal would probably, control the game, but not at all. Seeing like City had everything, they could just. Arsenal didn't really have many chances. Aubameyang looked pretty isolated up the top.
Yeah.
Lacazette came on and looked like he kind of made it a lot better for them. Lacazette had chances. I think they should definitely both start. I don't know why they didn't start. Next game I reckon Emery will play both of them. Ramsey looked like a striker as well. He was getting really far forward. So he's one to look at come game week 3, I think, for sure. I'll be looking at him definitely. City, Bernardo, good for you.
Oh, really pleased. Really pleased. Well, after seeing all the scores the day before, Richarlison, Fraser, and obviously Mane just scored, I was like, oh, I need something from you, Bernardo. I need something. Yeah. And he, to be honest, he wasn't in the game very much, but he popped up with a crucial goal, and I think he could have scored one right near the end as well in injury time. But yeah, I take a goal from him, and with their fixtures coming up, I feel quite happy on Triple City.
Yep.
Just a few points to pick up on Arsenal. I think I was mainly surprised that the Czech played, and he was really wobbly and didn't suit Emery's sort of obsession to play out from the back. It was quite funny when all the Arsenal fans were sort of begging him to kick it long, and he did, and they sort of like ironically cheered.
Yep.
The fact that he nearly kicked into his own net. The guy called Leno signed from Leverkusen for 22 million, so that's quite a lot of money, and I doubt he'd want to sit on the bench at Europa League team. And watch or only play Europa League. So I think that might be one to watch. If Czech has a few more suspect moments like that, then I wouldn't be surprised if he gets replaced.
I think they're both hard to trust. I think Leno seems like he's quite young and quite dodgy as well. So you've got two keepers that are both dodgy as each other, kind of like Bravo and Hart at City a while ago. So you just have to pick one of them and hope for the best, I think. So that their defence are not really an FPL asset for a while, I think. Maybe possibly like Bellerin at some point. He looked okay.
The rest of them was really struggled, I thought. I've never been impressed with Mustafi and Socrates. I mean, Mustafi got turned inside out, had his back to Sterling, didn't he, in the first half for that chance, just floundering around. So I just think Arsenal looked really poor. I think that people started taking bets on if they'll be bottom of the league end of April, because they've got some tough fixtures. They go to Chelsea next week, or this coming game week. So yeah, potentially it could be floundering around.
They could be on 0-2 by end of next week for sure.
Yeah.
I think the Chelsea game being more competitive because Chelsea are nowhere near as good as City.
No.
It wouldn't be surprised if Aubameyang gets a goal or whatever in that game and Arsenal competitive.
How, as an Aubameyang owner, how not worried, but what do you feel about Lacazette playing and pushing him out wide? Does that reduce his fantasy appeal a bit?
No, not for me.
Okay.
Same position as what Salah was doing the year before, coming in off the flank. He'll get assists as well. He doesn't just have to have goals. Sort of like Kane. Kane was just a goal scorer, or is just a goal scorer. But like Aubameyang, if he can get assists and goals, still get 20 a season or something like that. I think he's great.
Yeah.
Still great. Yeah. Just a hard game to start with. I kind of hoped he'd get a goal, but I didn't expect it.
No.
But I hope he will get a goal against Chelsea. I think it'll be much more close. And I think he could get a goal in that one. Hoping.
Yeah, no.
And then if not, then I'll possibly start thinking about downgrading one of my too expensive strikers.
Yeah. No, I think it makes sense really if he's not delivering and better value elsewhere.
Yep.
I think final thoughts on, well, just some thoughts on Man City. I thought Sterling came back in and played really well. So he's a funny price at 11. I think he's the only 11 priced player, but he looked good and he looked sharp. So I'm not sure if he'd make it into my team yet while Bernardo Silva's playing at such a reduced cost and returning. But he's definitely one to monitor, especially if Jesus comes in and starts rotating a bit more of Aguero and he's not so sure of minutes. Mendy looked great, obviously 2 assists, clean sheet, bombing up and down. I think after the game Pep said he'd got to spend less time on social media and more time concentrating on his football. So if he's spending this sort of amount of time on social media and getting 2 assists, imagine how many assists he's going to get when he's not on social media.
I think just let him do what he's doing. He's enjoying himself and he's enjoying getting forward and getting assists. So don't change what's not broken.
Yeah.
Don't fix what's not broken. If you're going to get assists for Aguero next time, that'd be great instead of Bernardo But people who are worried that possibly Aguero is going to get rested, I mean, I can't see that yet. I think he has some good chances and things. So keep Aguero if you got him. Their fixtures are so good. He might get rotated a few times, but not yet.
Do you reckon he got grilled when he got back in the changing room by Guardiola? By that time he was through.
Maybe, but like
he's a striker.
You're not going to score every chance. Ronaldo will miss a few one-on-ones as well, so it happens time to time. But he probably should have squared it. KDB should have been on the score sheet.
What about Edison getting a bonus point as well? Did you see that? I think he got 1 bonus point.
Did he?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. But I don't think he did a lot watching the game. But,
no, I don't think he made a save. Did he? Not as I can't
remember. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that Edison got a bonus point.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I might have to check that though. Can I do an asterisk about here and just say Chris will confirm a bit later?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Arsenal Man City. I think before we move on to Game Week 2 and looking at that, I'll just quickly touch on my team. Obviously, we've spoken about our teams just generally doing that bit. 78 points put me at about 300. I think it's about 350,000. So either 350 or 303, which isn't a bad start to the season. 78 looks nice. Happy with my team generally. Bit disappointed. Ericsson obviously would have made the score a lot better if he was Mane. Well, what can you do? You just crack on and get ready for the next game week.
Yeah, it's well above average. Nothing to complain about really. It's a marathon, as we say. It's good.
Yeah.
Why not? Carry on.
So carry on. Thank you. So should we look at the fixtures for this coming game week and just talk about captaincy options?
Yep.
And say, early thoughts for you.
That's a lot to take in. Just browse your eyes over it.
Oh yeah, take it in. So we've got game week 2 loaded up, the first one, and we also sort of extended the viewing to all the way up to game week 6. So if you're thinking about bringing in a player, you can start to look. So these coloured fixtures are based on the official fantasy football website's fixture difficulty rating system. So not by us. But yeah, who have you got your eye on?
Transfer-wise, no one at the moment. I think I'm sticking, but I'm looking at Leicester, looking at Maddison, keeping my eye on Fulham as well, Mitrovic, and looking at Liverpool again to see how they do against Palace, to see if I do really need that third player. Well, I probably definitely will, and even City as well. I need to somehow get a third City in, but just not sure how at the moment. Yeah. What about you?
Well, transfers I've already been thinking about a little bit because I've already got a little bit of doubt about Jota. Now I know it's only one game week, but I would have expected a bit more. And Richarlison's gone up in price now. And looking at his fixtures and the fact that he's back from injury already, I don't know if you saw that today, but he's training again.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to be fine. I'm a little bit worried, and also the fact that his ownership is quite high already. His ownership is nearly 25%, which is a lot for a 6.5 million midfielder. But to get Richarlison, I don't have the money for it. So talking earlier about having Arnautovic, the plan was to potentially switch to a more flexible 3-4-3, 3-5-2 formation to downgrade Arnautovic to the Ings, upgrade Stevens, my 4.5 million mid, to Neves, and then upgrade Jota to Richarlison. So then I'd have the
Do you think that's a bit knee jerky?
Oh yeah, I won't do it this week. No. This would be This would be probably after game week 3 or game week 4, depending on form. But this is already my head's going. Okay, what's happening? Just trying to work out what I'm going to do, because Richarlison's worrying me now, which is irritating because I didn't back him before the start of the season. I didn't fancy him, and now, yeah, I'm a bit worried.
Nor did I, to be honest. I wasn't expecting him to do much. I was thinking, but I just wanted a little bit of Everton cover.
Yeah.
And he was about the right sort of price. And I've almost thinking, Bernard at 6.0, who's really good.
Yeah.
He's a really good player. Could just be a set and forget because he's going to get you assists and stuff like that. But Richarlison at 6.5, if he's going to keep up his form, then great. I'll just leave him. But I did not rate him at all. I don't like him as a player really. But if he's going to continue, then great. happy to have him in there.
So they've got Southampton, haven't they, at home this weekend? So I think it's another opportunity for him to get some good points there.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he's confident and he's going to just shoot on sight, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as an alternative to Richarlison, I'd be looking at Maddison. I mean, Wolves at home next, and Southampton away game week 3 before Liverpool go to Leicester. I think that's not a bad run. I would imagine Vardy's going to be back.
Yep.
But I think looking at the fixtures, I can see that Wolves have got City at home game week 3, so I wouldn't expect returns from Jota there, if I'm honest. So
it might be a good time to get rid of him there.
So I'll have another think about that. So I'm probably going to save the transfer, and you're going to save it as well, yeah?
Yes, I think I'm going to bank this week. There's no major surgery that needs to be done in my squad, so happy with them at the moment.
What about your captain then?
Yeah.
On the
Kettle
spot.
fish that, I'm not sure. 50-50 on Salah or Aguero, really.
Okay.
People are talking about Mendy as well because he's nailed on.
Yeah. I was thinking about Mendy.
But just, I don't know, just doesn't feel good captaining Mendy, really. Just in case he doesn't do anything, which is, he's a defender. He may not do anything, But if he gets a clean sheet against Huddersfield, that's a return. That's 12 points, possibly some bonus.
Yep.
That's a decent captain, I suppose. But there's always Aguero that can get a brace in 70 minutes. Absolutely, But then there's Salah, who
It's Salah.
is Salah exactly. Away at Palace, there's no reason why he can't get goals. If he's going to continue poaching, he'll get plenty of goals that way. And that's an easy way to surefire shut up a Crystal Palace loud crowd on a Monday night with a poacher goal in the 90th minute or something.
I think it's such an intriguing captaincy pick this week, for all the reasons you've mentioned, and just the fact that Aguero is at home against Huddersfield. Now, if that, let's just forget Salah. If you saw or know that Man City were playing Huddersfield at home and Aguero was going to play, you'd captain him, wouldn't you? But the fact that Salah's just got that track record, it just throws so much doubt into people's minds. I mean, even Spurs having Fulham at home is a great fixture on paper. Yeah,
a lot of people are going to captain Kane, and fair play, because he should get goals. But the August curse may hit him again. He's not a surefire captain, that's for sure. So that's why Mendy might be good. Even Bernardo maybe, because he should continue, because he played 90 minutes, got a return. I don't see why he's going to be dropped. And if you can just pop up and not be in the game and get a return, great.
I really don't know at the moment. But I think on my team right now, I've got the armband on Aguero.
Yep.
But I just like the idea of Aguero blanking and then getting to Monday night and watching Salah score like 3 goals, and being like, yeah. So
Why would that make you happy if you put it on Aguero?
no. So I'm saying, although it's on Aguero now, I like the idea of captaining Salah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more than likely going to play it safe and put it back on Salah.
Okay. Going to be a bit dullard.
I think it's the way to do it. It's early season. I don't want to fluff it up. I'd like to take a risk, but I don't want the risk to backfire too much.
I think I read a tweet from FPL Partridge on Twitter today saying that it's almost like just playing in a game. It's you have to pick your time when to attack and defend.
Yeah.
Defending is playing it on the safe person like Salah, so you keep up with the crowd.
Yeah.
And then you attack with either a Mendy or an Aguero, who is a slight risk, but then that'll shoot you up the ranks. So it's kind of just picking when to do that. Maybe Game Week 2 isn't the time to do that.
No.
So maybe it is just go safe. Possibly United players might be a safe option as well. Away at Brighton, I don't know. Maybe De Gea.
They lost there last season.
Yeah, true.
But then Brighton were poor, weren't they? Opening game. I don't know. I mean, more left field picks. Arnautovic, I've just been slating him. But Bournemouth at home, we know that they've got like a bit of a dodgy defence. Their first home game of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe Arnie. I think that there's a fair amount on even Richarlison home against Southampton.
Yeah.
I think it's quite a lot of options. Salah and Aguero are probably top, but would you put the armband on Richarlison?
It'll be a maverick move, wouldn't it? But it's tempting after saying that. I just looked at that Southampton green home. That looks tasty. But no, I wouldn't do it. But it's tempting.
It's tempting.
Yeah.
All right, so let's pick out. So I'm probably going to say. This is Tuesday night speaking now. I'm probably going to say Salah. Do you want to give us at least an 80% sure pick who you're going to captain?
Probably Salah. Probably Salah.
Indecision. I'm excited for Saturday morning when the deadline rolls around.
So often that is just I don't have an 80%. Honestly, it's 50-50.
Okay. Did you see he got referred by Liverpool today because he'd been on his phone when he was driving?
Yeah.
Imagine if he has a hissy fit and he's like, I don't want to play. We'll blow fantasy wide open, but I think we'll be all right. Right, do we want to pick out our clean sheets? One each. So can we recap on last week who you said?
I said Liverpool.
And
clean sheet. Smashed it.
And I said Spurs. Poo-pooed it.
Yeah, you're kind of unlucky there because Newcastle didn't really have many chances. But, yeah.
Right, I'll let you go first then.
Right, so I'll go for my dullard one. I think United away.
Okay.
At Brighton. You did say they lost last year, but I just fancy them to do it this time round.
Yeah, okay.
Is it Saturday or Sunday? Do you know? It's top of your head.
I don't know. No,
Probably Saturday. Actually, no, I think it's Sunday because I think they're on TV again. So yeah, I think they'll do that.
Okay, I'm still a bit unsure about mine. I'm a bit loath to pick Man City or Liverpool after they got a clean sheet, so I think I'm going to go for Burnley at home to Watford. I think I'm going to take I'm going to go for that one based on my fact that Watford hadn't scored in their last 8 away Premier League games. I feel like it will continue.
Yeah, can definitely see a clean sheet there for sure.
All right, I think that about wraps up episode 3. So I just want to suppose we should say thanks for watching to everyone and good luck with Game Week 2. And we'll see you next week. It's bye from me.
See you later. Good luck.